What's up, you guys? In today's video, I want to review and demo some Moira eyeliners for you guys. As per usual with a Moira video on my channel, I've got a few products to talk about, and I will try my best to kind of define the differences and the performance in each one of their formulas. Today's videos is liquid eyeliners, and I also have like a glitter liner here, as well as a gel liner. So on my channel before, I have talked about the liquid liner, this jumbo liquid liner pencil. They also have a micro liquid liner. I like the jumbo because I feel like you can still get a micro line with it. This is very easy to use. I have demos before. I really like this one, and this is just in their black shade. And then I've also used the eye-catching dip liner, and I do like it in this espresso brown shade. So today we're basically going to try it out in the newer, brighter colors. I'm also going to be doing the glitter light. I will have a second look up, doing a neon green look, and kind of reviewing more so the gel liner. So the glitter liner is in Pink Aurora. And then I also have, let's see, I have the baby pink, I have just red, and then I have mulberry. So I just thought these were all really beautiful. Let's go ahead and get into the look. I think I'm going to do like a gradient between these two, and then I want to do like pink and glitter up here. So maybe I'll blend out with some shadows. I'm gonna start with the burgundy mulberry shade. I always forget like which side is going to be the wand. It's the white side, the color side is the dye. Already making a mess of things here. So that's the mulberry shade. It's a bit lighter, pretty close, but a little bit more fluorescent than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a bit more like deeper burgundy. That went on fairly opaque. Yeah, I'm going to do the red next. I like this one. This is a fun one. I kind of want to do this one and then like smoke it out with some shadow and have like a little like cherry smoky look. It could be fun, but I wanted to try multiple today and do like a gradient. So I just went over the top of it on the inside, and then I think that's all I'm going to do for right there. So it just goes from like red to the burgundy. And I thought the burgundy was going to be darker, but that's okay. This is a colorful look regardless, and my hooded eyes keep transferring things, so if you have really hooded eyes like me and you're doing a thicker liner look, definitely remember to look down, let it dry before I keep looking up at the monitor to see what's going on. Other than that, that went on really easy, pretty opaque. Okay, so I'm still kind of waiting for this to dry, and it just keeps transferring. Maybe if I'm not filming, this isn't like such an issue, but I just sat there in the mirror like after cleaning this up, just waiting for this to dry. So, and also as it's drying, it is getting less opaque. Like out here, it looks like it could almost use another pass. So far this is a little messy for me. I want to take the pink one and kind of do just like a little graphic line here, and then run the liner along it. And I'm wanting it to be like a little thicker and then taper off. And that was fairly easy to do, however, it's not super opaque. Okay, let me just sit here and let this dry a second. Okay, this is still drying. It takes a while to dry. I don't remember the brown taking this long. Maybe I'm going a little heavier with the product. So far the colors are really pretty. They blended very easily into each other. You can see the red goes into that mulberry and you almost can't even tell. Whether that's good or bad, maybe they just look exactly like the same color. Like in person you can tell the difference a bit more. I can see in the monitor that they kind of both look that bright red. This one wasn't quite as deep as I thought, but even now on the monitor, I can see like this is what it looks like in person, so cool. I think this is dried as much as it's wanting to right now. I definitely have some transfer issues because of my hooded lids, something to be aware of. I did like a thicker, heavier layer and didn't really have to go over it again, and as you can see, the pink is slightly opaque. Ignore the transfer. Okay, let's go ahead and go in with the glitter liner. It's also like a long, skinny, thin brush. And it's like a pink to clear base, and it's got different size glitter particles. There's very fine ones, and then there's like the larger round, like disc ones. And I'm just going to go, let's see, I'm going to go above the pink line and just draw like another line and kind of have some glitter overlap the top of that. Second layer. I'll extend it past the pink so you guys can kind of see what it looks like with just the clear. And you can kind of paint on and draw a line. And then you can go in for a second layer and a lot of those larger particles stick. Okay, I want to finish up the bottom lash line with this Moira Smoothie palette. This is the Berry Blast. This is a new one. I got this as a gift from my sister for my birthday. I have two of the others from the Smoothie line, and I really enjoy this. So these mattes are really, really great in this series of palettes from Moira. I'm going to take a long flat brush, and I'm going to go along it with this deep middle shade called Together. I'm going to stamp it first. And then I'll kind of just rub it on the inside to kind of smooth it and smear it a little bit. That's all I want for now. To the other side. Stamp. And as you can see as I blend that out, there really is like a berry undertone to it. With these smoothie palettes, it's sort of, in my opinion, Moira's version of monochromatic palettes. And I think they did a good job. I hope they bring those back, and I really like the format. It's a thinner, sleeker palette. It's got these little like octagon shapes. And yeah, other than the transfer that I have going on, this did everything that I was hoping it would do. This was sort of the look I was wanting to achieve. I just need to finish up the shadow. I'm gonna go into this pink berry shade, same brush, and just kind of smoke out the bottom lash line, just under. Okay, last thing, I'm gonna take a small pencil brush and go into this dark purple called Divine. It looks very similar to the mulberry shade. I'm going to go into this pink shade called Pride, and I'm just going to fluff this on the inside lid. There we go, just a little something. I'm going over everything, I'm just stamping it right over, and as you can see, the effect that that liner has is like a base. The other side. I'm going to finish up with some mascara, this Milani Anti-Gravity. Been using this non-stop basically. Okay, let me finish up and I'll be right back. So far, I really like the glitter liner. The dip liners were okay, a little fussy, a little messy. I think there's a learning curve. We'll see when I work with the grains if I still experience that or if I can kind of correct. But I mean, it was easy to use. They blended into each other. So far, so good. I will try if I can to check in and show you guys how they're wearing at the end of the day before I wash this off. I just wanted to show you how the first look was holding up, how the liners were looking, it's been like 4.5 hours. It's almost 2:30 p.m. and I'm gonna go do school pickup, and I'll be out in the heat. I don't even know what it is today. It's like 114 or something. So I thought now would be a good time to check in, and then again after I've been like sweating. So I'm getting a little bit of texture along my lids after I've been moving and talking, and I have texture there. It kind of is what it is, but it does accentuate even more after it's been applied and dried down and you've kind of been doing your thing all day. So yeah, still looking good, holding up good, a little drying on my kind of mature lids, so pretty good so far. I'm kind of obsessed with the glitter liner, I'm not gonna lie. And then the way that pink liner is so light, it almost looks like a white, and then I kind of went over the eyeshadow, that gradient effect that it did, that would be a really cool look too, to just do the light pink and then go over it with eyeshadow and kind of create a gradient. That seemed like it would be super easy to do with this formula. So okay, that's the first check-in. I'm gonna go do pickup, be in the sun, and I'll check back after I've been sweating and stuff and seeing how things are holding up. Okay, so here's the final check-in. It's been like 8 hours. I'm gonna go take a shower and wash this off. It definitely could keep going. It hasn't budged. So it could keep going, but I'm gonna go take a shower and wash this off. Just wanted to check in with you guys one last time. Everything else kind of sweated off after I was in the heat. This stuff, yeah, stayed on pretty well. It didn't have the best of luck washing off that transfer. It kind of stained, so it'll be interesting to see how this stuff washes off. Okay, so that's it for look number 1 with this video. Stay tuned for the next segment of look number 2, and I will also finish up with my final thoughts and experience on these products. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and make this segment really quick, really easy. I'm just going to use this lime green shade, Lime, on the top lid. I'm going to use the gel liner on the bottom, and then we're going to use these 2 palettes here, one from ColourPop, one from BH Cosmetics, to just kind of blend and buff out. The first look I did was mostly just liners. Today I want to use some shadow. I also did use Moira's signature blush in the shade Morning Sunshine on my cheeks, that little like pinkiness going on. Stuff is very pigmented. I have a demonstration video on that. If you're interested, go check that out. On the first look, I kind of maybe overdid it with the product a little bit. It did not want to come off. I think that's my gripe with this product so far. We'll see how today goes. The reds and pinks took like 3 days to wash off. It's gliding on really smoothly, really nicely. There's a nice line. The color isn't very opaque. Like I can kind of see some streaks. So I'm trying not to use too much at once, and I'm trying to let it dry because I had so many issues with that transferring with my hooded lids when I was looking up to check things out. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry and do the other side really quick. Okay, just waiting on this to dry. I think with a little practice, these are definitely easier. I can feel like every time I kind of use this product that I get the hang of like the consistency and how much fluid to use, because it's very much like nail polish. You don't want too much and you don't want too little. You know, otherwise you get streaks or you get like kind of texture, it seems. So now I've just done the cream gel liner, also called Lime, even though these are distinctly different. So this is the gel liner, and then the dip liner, the liquid liner. And I went in the waterline, and then now I'm going to go under as well. So I did this eye, I'm going to finish up this eye. I'm going to go in with the dip liner on the top one more time and kind of make this just a little bit more dramatic before I go in with the shadows. After going in again, after it's already been dry, it was like just gripping and getting weird and chunky. It did not want to be very fluid over the top of like the dried product. I think overall I got it to look okay, but adding more wasn't as easy as I had hoped. So this could be just like a really cool look, just add some lashes or some mascara all on its own. Pretty fun and, you know, not too finicky. I do think that there is like a learning curve a little bit with a product like this if a liquid eyeliner is not your go-to. I typically use something more felt tip. I'm gonna go into the shade Miami. This ColourPop Lime Light palette. I love this one for going for bright green shades. Yep, a little bit of transfer here again. Definitely hooded eyes beware for this one. Alright, and I'm just gonna stamp that shade over and then try and like create a softened line here. Now I'm gonna go into the shade After Party. It's really, really similar, just slightly darker. These shades are just so neon and bright that it's a very subtle thing going on here. Okay, now I'm going to go into this Almost Famous shade with like a fluffy brush and just kind of buff that out up over my crease. So basically I want that like very defined line and then it kind of like blown out along the edge. Yeah, there we go. See the difference? Bottom lash as well. And I'm not going over where I just did, I'm going under and downwards, like blending it out this way. So that shade was unexpectedly pigmented. And out this way as well. Cool. So that's kind of the idea. So I'm going to stamp some of this dark warm brown in the bottom lash line with an angle brush. Okay, so here is the finished look with mascara and everything. Definitely looks very cool, very bright. It did get less precise as those layers added up. I definitely have like the texture going on after the second layer. So I'm gonna just wrap up really quick and say that these are okay. Fun, definitely cool for like maybe Halloween or a party or a beach day because they definitely are waterproof. They stay put. We'll see how the green does and I'll try and do an update, but the pink was just miserable to wash off, specifically that like red shade and the burgundy shade. It's just really hard to get off. So definitely something where if you've got something going on later, I don't know if you want to use these and then try and wash it off and settle down a look. But I mean, it did perform well. It does look nice. These do last a long time and work well with powders. I just think that they're a little bit finicky for me. This would be something fun for a special event, but if you're a makeup collector or avid makeup user or even a beginner, I'm not sure that this is for you, and I don't think that this is really worth it either. Get the ColourPop gel liners. They last longer and they're more vibrant and brighter. Like this is already wearing off. I just put it on. Definitely a fun option to add to your collection, and it is affordable if you were looking for something like for me, having a little lime green in my collection is great. I don't have any issues with the espresso brown shade, so I do wonder if it's just, you know, since I am trying to get a bright, more specific look, that these are just harder to work with. So I don't mind the brown. It would be something I would typically repurchase if I wanted another like brushed tip application. My favorite way is just a felt tip, like the jumbo pencil. I do recommend this. They have a micro one. I personally like the jumbo one because I think you can get more variety. You can get jumbo or precise tip with this. And I absolutely loved the glitter liner. Loved, loved, loved it. It stayed really well. It definitely gave an impactful look. It was really cute, really precise. There was a lot of variety in the glitter. I don't know what the legalities on this are. I haven't looked into it on whether this is eye safe, so do your research, do what you're comfortable with. Hopefully you find this helpful. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video.